say like, I run for God or whatever, but it's like, what does that look like? I don't know what that looks like.
I'm going in with pretty much an open mind and open heart.
I feel a lot of athletes play their sport for the wrong reasons. It's easy to get sucked into what the world thinks.
And it's really easy to do it for selfish reasons and for your own glory.
I'm starting to realize that playing for God is way better than playing for anybody else, because it'd be much easier than trying to look out for girls, friends, people trying to come up to you, people want autographs.
We teach these 5 principles that help illuminate the scriptures and focus on how does it really look to integrate God in sport.
The principles are powerful because it's the gospel. They're life principles, and yes, they work in sport too.
A lot of the times athletes will pray before a big game, or maybe they'll meet after the game and pray, or maybe have a pregame chapel, and all those things are important. But what does it really look like as an athlete to honor Him, to glorify Him, to worship Him in the midst of your competition?
The principles answer questions that college and professional athletes are asking. How do I get a proper motivation for my sport and for my life? What's God's intention for sport? And how can I maximize my potential as an athlete who loves Christ and wants to follow Christ in the midst of competition? Because their motivation doesn't come from fans, coaches, money, fame, all the stuff that the world puts out there for us. But a Christian athlete's motivation is and can be, man, I want to follow Christ. I want to do this thing with Him and His power and for His glory. Christian athletes should be the hardest working athletes on the planet.
Yeah. We need to break down core stereotypes of Christian athletes and put them in a very competitive environment, and that's why we do the special. It's been the one thing that the athletes have said, it's been the hardest, but the best thing that we've ever done to help them apply God's word to their sport.
Yeah, the special's crazy. It's an animal.
Turn the music up inside my session. These folks gotta hear my message. You put that beat on, I beat on this track to relieve my stressing. I see more trials than Cochran. Why TV trying to box me? And magazines ain't on my page, but ain't none of that gon' stop me. Keep the fame and acclaim. I won't be a slave for a chain. And why stay the same for the change? Let's talk about change for a change. Cause they know I ain't playing. Got my faith on display, and I got some riders behind me, and they mean what they saying. Knock, knock, open up, we got your door. Hope you prepared now, and I think it's clear now. Partner, we here now, and don't plan on going nowhere. Consider yourself invested, and these strings all up in your veins. Consider yourself infected, and what we say we live out. Before we give in, we give out, and when we die, we come back. Till death, you'll never win out. They ain't never gonna stop us, pop us, drop us, watch us pop right back up. And we never gonna die, that's why we ride and rise like Pac. Got back up, gon' back up, gon' back up. Everybody go home, just pack up. We plugged into the highest power, that's why we ain't gotta act up. No poker faces, just smoking aces, my house is full. My temple is a dwelling place, my master's masterful. You just full of yourself, you just food on the shelf. Eating for breakfast, talking reckless, boy, I know the chef. You don't want what he's cooking, it's not easy to stomach. And your words will be eaten, folks will be reading your vomit. The recipe for disaster, ask for blasphemy. And ask for me, I give you gravity.
I found so much strength in God, and that's when my eyes really opened to who He is and what He can do for me. And that's when His love for me just exploded. Definitely opened my eyes to really see how much He cares and how much He loves us. He brought about a new perspective, what it is to be free in Christ and to know that His love for you will never change. I'm not defined by my wins and my losses, but Christ has already defined me. He loves me, and that's very liberating. It's such a beautiful thing.
Once you can have that freedom, you perform up here. This might not be the hardest thing I've done physically as a wrestler, but I'm gonna tell you it's the hardest thing I've done physically and spiritually as an athlete, because He's the one that's given me the intensity and the ability to compete. And knowing that and letting go of everything and just being able to glorify Him through everything that I do in my sport, it's joyful. And once you let it go, once you're free, and you'll know what I mean by free if you come to one of these camps, is that you'll perform so much better.